Would anybody want to go first? Or is there any other expectation that I'm not aware of? I'm ready to answer that also.
Uh, if we
Yes.
are going with the questions and answers, hi Bhuvna, nice to meet you. I've connected with you earlier as well through Shenomics.
Yes.
Uh, yes, it's a pleasure to have you here to solve our problems and address our queries. I am Ruchi from Glowing Generations. A small intro about Glowing Generations. It's still in idea phase. It's a teen color cosmetic brand that we are trying to launch here. We've very
Okay.
recently started working on it. And I had couple of questions that I had posted in email, so I'll take it with you.
Yeah.
My first question is that the market size for teen color cosmetics is not freely available
Mhm.
on any of the markets research reports, which are freely available for us to access. And the paid ones are quite expensive for the startups to access.
Right.
So, how should we go about sharing that information in our pitch deck? Because obviously, market size is one very important aspect that we should have it in our pitch deck so that it attracts the investors towards the industry or the platform.
Completely agree, Ruchi. That's a great insight in terms of an understanding that you need to definitely include your market understanding, and that comes from research also. Typically, what happens is you can run a survey with your own network of people.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen college kids do this very efficiently. They just send it out and to their network and ask people to fill it. That's one way of looking at it. And you can, kind of see if you can get a representation from across that demography that you're looking for. That is one,
Mm-hmm.
you can be intentional about it. And the other one is to use social media for organic responses,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those are the two things that you can do. And when you do the survey through WhatsApp and, you go through it on Shenomics, for example, you can put it and say, like, I'm doing a project and therefore, I need some inputs on this and stuff like that. You will be able to get responses. That is one. Second is also to use maybe again interns for this to get you some help, because they don't cost much. I know what you say when the research agencies are pretty expensive, and sometimes even corporates can't afford them. It's not just startups. So those are the three ways that you can get market research. And also, when you get representative data from different demographies, you can then extrapolate it to your necessity. You can see if there is, let's say, representation from smaller towns, for example. Then you can extrapolate it to see how this, maybe three smaller towns you've gone and done the research. You can then
Mm-hmm.
extrapolate it to the rest of the country also, saying there is similar behavior. But if there is differential behavior, then you'll have to see what kind of categorization you've gone in for, and then maybe ask for one or two more surveys to be done in maybe other towns. Like the behavior, let's say in cosmopolitan cities will be different versus smaller towns. Bangalore versus Mysore, it could be very different. And let's say Mysore is giving you a certain kind of a behavioral input in data. You can look
Mm-hmm.
at probably maybe a Coimbatore, which is equivalent. I'm just saying. So that way you will be able to map the data and see if it's relevant, if it is saying the same thing, or if it's saying different things. That way your interpretation and insights from the data that you would get will be very useful.
But it's okay if we are not able to conclude to some fixed number or some ballpark range. I mean, if the business size is like X and X crores or XX
So,
millions in India, is that okay to put it that way in the presentation? Because
yeah,
we
yeah,
did
you
a
can say
survey on WhatsApp. I'll
you
tell
can
you what
say
happened. We sent it across 1.5 thousand people. All hello, am I audible?
your video is stuck, Ruchi, but I can hear
My
you.
screen was frozen,
Yes.
and we got less than 50 responses.
Do
Okay,
you want to
so I
go
was
on
not
video?
understand what to do.
Do you want to go off video and speak?
I think that would help.
Yes.
Is it any better now?
Yes, this is better, Ruchi.
Okay, so I was saying that we did the WhatsApp survey, but we could collect only 50, around 50 responses. Maybe it's less than 50 also. So I think that is too less a data to
It is.
specify.
Yes, it is too less. I would say push for more, send it out in other WhatsApp groups, and as I said, put it on social media and specific groups. If you're looking at this age group, then look for specific groups of that on LinkedIn and other social media where you can ask for information. You should at least get about 200 to 250 responses to get even for your own self, right? If you're doing marketing
Yeah,
think you should understand it. Leave the pitch part of it. I'm saying more than that, it has to be for your own understanding of what the market is looking at, whether it's really relevant. And you could probably, also look at leaving out or an electronic form of your survey in places like I'm thinking of all this. What is that shops? Yeah, I mean, not not specific shops, not your competition brand, but health and glow. I'm sorry, little bit health and glow kind of shops. You can leave an electronic survey out there or partner with them to get some information. Those are your options.
sure. Thank you. That definitely helps. My second question was about the financial data. So, how much of financial data info does the first tech need to have? Is my question, because uh,
Basics you need to cover, which means what is your source of finance? Is it do you need 100% funding? That you
mhm,
definitely need to put out. You need to have a vision for your finance, which means you need to have at least a 3-year roadmap. You need to
mhm,
put down sources of your income. What are your costs? What is your basic balance sheet going to look like, and when will you break even? And
mhm.
if somebody is investing, what is that percentage you're willing to part? This
Okay.
much to chahiye first deck mein,
Mhm,
especially when you're sending it out or you're scouting for
mhm,
capitalists to come, venture capitalists to come or investors to come and at least take a look at your idea and pitch.
mhm,
Then you need to have this clarity, because this is something I told in my Saturday session also. Many people don't have an understanding of where they should be in 3 years time, and what is the calculation, back of the envelope calculation to hona hi chahiye. That is a
mhm,
must.
mhm.
So what are your expenses? Are you looking at building a team? Are you going to have partners? Are you going to have paid partners? Are you going to have other founders as part of it? What is their, in thing salary going to be, or their part going to be? Are they going to bring in? What is your business model, right? That
Mhm, mhm.
includes your finances, and this is basic finances.
Sure. And this is all gonna be a projection only, because it's still an idea, so we do not
That's
have it.
That's okay, but you're doing this business to make money, right, Ruchi?
Right. Very,
So
very
where
correct.
what business do you want to make? What is a per unit cost average? What is
Mm-hmm.
the average sales you expect in a month's time? And
Mm-hmm.
then therefore to make that money, let's say you're making $10. $10 बनाने के लिए तो आपका कितना खर्च होगा, right? That clarity you need to have. And if you don't have, get somebody to help you with it, like somebody who's in good in finances to help you with how do you really work this, and what is a product cost, for example, and if there's a service, what is a service cost, final cost kitna hoga, and then what will that lead to in terms of expenses, and what will be the profit. That's how you
Right.
need to put a calculation. If you're going to have kiosks, if you're going to put up kiosks, then what does that cost? It doesn't have to always. Please understand, investors are not looking to see profit in the first year. Take that out of your mind, right? That's not what they're looking for. They are looking for a profitable model of business. They're looking at a business that will make profit at some point in time, and your clarity in terms of when will that profit happen.
Sure.
And
Thanks.
for that, you need to know what the expenses are. That's what it is.
Okay. Thank you. That was great.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
We go to the
Hi,
next.
Hi, I'm Ankita here. So
Hi,
I'm
Ankita.
I'm not able to, I'm actually in the car, so I cannot switch on my video. So one quick question. Thank you for the answer. That was quite insightful. I would like to know, so the pitch deck, how lengthy should it be, or how crisp can we make it? Because it has to be impactful, right? So what is the mantra for that impactful pitch deck, that these minimum points we cover and we are done, instead of just adding on, and making it lengthy.
I have shared a template of sorts. I will ask whoever is, maybe Farisha, if we can ask them to share it with everybody at a later stage. That is one thing you can look at, Ankita. But typically, I would say, please remember this, and this is something that a mentor taught me, is your deck travels. Okay, so your deck traveling, matlab, it has to have basic information that can tell your story. Okay, it can't be more than 12 to 15 slides max, I'm saying. And that has to have, what is your vision? Okay, what problem are you going to solve? Right, that's what people are interested in. Is it a unique problem, or is it a problem that industry already has and you're trying to solve a problem, differently? It can be any which way. It doesn't always have to be a different idea, a different business that nobody is doing. Look at chai shops. No, there's so many chai shops. Everything is full. You can still look at even a chai shop and still be profitable. I'm just saying, giving a random example. But it has to have, and I was just mentioning financials and your roadmap. Itna information to you have to have, and some information about your product if there is an IP involved, be very careful when it's traveling. Don't just let it go to in anybody's hand. That may go against you. Right? You can say this is an IP and we can discuss it when we have a conversation. So you can put it that way and say, please give me time and then we'll be able to. But your vision has to be there, your roadmap has to be there, your finances has to be there, basic finances. You don't have to put an entire balance sheet or detail out the finances. That's not required. And why they should invest, and how will they become profitable by investing in your business. Itna hona chahiye bas.
Thank you. This really helps. Thank you.
Anytime, anytime. I will share, I don't know, Dr. Juhi is, I will share the template
I
maybe.
think that would be really helpful for most of us, so we can just follow
That's
that
a
and
Word document. That's a Word document. You can see the detail because that has a little bit of detail. You can choose whichever part is relevant to you
right.
and use it.
Correct. ठीक है, that this is really helpful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Hi, Bhuvana. Thank you for commitment for sharing the not commitment but support for sharing the template and the couple of small questions. So for mompreneurs, so my startup is about 2 years old. In November, I'll be completing 2 years, and I'm a profitable organization. So my question is that this pitch would involve the ask for the investment or not, because this is the nature of this pitch supposed to be the competition wherein we can get the grant. So are we supposed to pitch for the investment perspective? And if that is so, then how much detail would be required for the finances to be displayed? So
I am not aware about the specifics of this particular contest. I think I saw Rika on the call. Rika, would you be able to answer that question? For this contest, do you have answer?
No, I think Deepshika will be able to, if Deepshika is there. Even I
yeah,
don't know.
because the whole nature of the pitch deck goes different if we ask for the funding. And the whole idea of this Mompreneur contest is get the grant and to compete for the grant. Am I correct, or my understanding is not
I
right?
think it is about getting the grant, not just a
Yes,
pitch fest. Any pitch fest means it is about competing for a grant.
yes, yes.
That's the whole premise of any pitch fest, and that's what I would understand.
Yeah. So my question, post this, my question is that then should we ask in our pitch deck, should we ask for the investment, or we shouldn't be? Since it's a clear grant pitch, are we supposed to ask for the funding also from
So there
VCs or
is
angels?
no. Sorry. So there is there. I think there are first, second, third prizes.
Yes.
So it's not that you ask for it, but there are prizes already for the winners.
मैं समझ गई, पर अभी भी मेरा क्वेश्चन वही है कि जब क्लियर कट प्राइसेस अमाउंट फिक्स हैं ग्रांट के, तो हमें क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट की आस्क रखनी है? और अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट की या एंजल्स या वीसीज अगर वहां पे प्रेजेंट हो गए और हमें आस्क रखनी है, तो व्हाट आर द चांसेस दैट दे कैन इवन गेट इंटरेस्टेड इन फंडिंग? बट बिकॉज दे आर टू डिफरेंट नेचर ऑफ द होल थिंग. One is grant, which is very clear.
If you don't win, then you can ask. That's how I would put it.
This is interesting. Why would I be not interested in winning? I would first go
No,
for
if
winning.
I'm saying teen prize announce ho gaya, uske baad you'll still have the connect. Now you can ask. I'm just saying. No, jokes apart, I think it's always okay if you're making the pitch. It's okay to put down some range of what the business will require, not from a
Okay.
contest perspective, but
Okay.
what the business will require to set up or to kind of, make it into the market. I think that's okay to put it.
Okay. Okay.
I
Good.
hope that clarified for you.
No, understood. Thank you so much, both of the wonderful ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, I see Preeti put her hand up.
Yeah, hi. I think I'm going to go back to the previous question. And when I looked at the page on the website, it categorically says just grant and marketing support.
Right.
So when we are creating a pitch, there are two components of the pitch, right? One is when you're looking for raising funds, and the other is when you're just pitching for this particular competition. And when we put up a financial projections, where one aspect of the financial projection is as is where is my business right now, what is my traction as of now, and without raising funds, with my own organic growth, where can I reach in the next 3 to 5 years?
Right.
Vis-a-vis, if I were to raise investment, right? If I were to look for investment and I want to dilute a part of my equity, then what would happen to my business?
Correct.
Right? My business would look very different from growing organically vis-a-vis having those extra funds to scale the business. So I think back to the great question she had, for the purpose of this contest,
What do you really want to, what's the vision of being part of this pitch fest, Preeti? If you want to, it's clearly not, continuing with the model that you have, the organic model that you're talking about. Then the pitch thing is taking a different turn altogether for you. It's more about talking about your business and getting that visibility and stuff like that. That's the underlying message that you're giving to the investors, right? But if you're looking for the grant, then you should put down the business part of it. You should say let's say the grant money is $100, right? Your business might need $200. That's okay. But if you're going to say 200, it's okay to say 200. That's all right. For the business, this is a requirement. It might be 500 or it might be $50 also. But if you win because of the business idea, see, the pitch is not going to be based on how much money you're asking for or what's the business requirement of the money, right? That's not how pitch contests work. It's more about the innovative idea or what is the reach of that idea? How is it going to turn around? How is it going to change the voice for the entrepreneur or for entrepreneurship itself? I think there are many other parameters that go into judging a pitch document or a deck or whatever it is. And knowing your finances, showing that you know your finances is a strength for the entrepreneur. So I would recommend that put it down, keeping in mind that there is a grant.
Okay, so the grant money is not going to significantly change the landscape of the business, because the grant money, the marketing part of this particular program, it's more about the marketing support that we are getting. The grant money is not, it's I think it's 10 to 15 lakhs of grant money. That money will only help us in very small aspects in our business. Is
that is specific to your business. Maybe somebody can set up their business in that 10 to 15 lakhs
that's also true.
Right? It depends on, so that clearly depends on what kind of business you're looking at and what is the requirement. So what? See, it's more about, as you said, it's about the marketing, the visibility you're getting in the entrepreneurs cohort. It's about getting the visibility through the program itself. And if and when you win, then there is that publicity that you get. I think it counts so much, and it's also a practice run. For getting into the venture capitalist thing, it's got other benefits, incidental benefits as well. So I would request you to view it like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. The whole aspect of sitting down and doing this deck makes you to look at your business model once again, takes you away from the pigeonhole that you are in on a day-to-day work, and it kind of widens your, and that's the whole intent why we are all here participating and really value your inputs. There's only a couple of more days, so we'll try and do whatever we
All
can.
the best.
But really
All the
appreciate
best.
your help and support in this matter.
All the very best. And then when you hear from other entrepreneurs, you might pick up one or two ideas, and that can also help in your own businesses. I mean, Pitch Fest is one thing, and then there is the business, right? So
yeah, we've been in the business for 5 to 6 years now. We are organically growing, sustaining, profitable. With this, we are growing our own business. So we are here. We are also creating an impact by creating health and wellness coaching and creating an impact at a national health and wellness.
that's wonderful.
So the impact that the marketing support through this program would help us to amplify the impact will be greatly valuable.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I see a few hands up. Whoever wants to go first. I see. Can we go, Shweta? I see a beautiful face next to her.
Hi, Bhuvana. Thank you for letting me ask the question. So, I have two questions. We are a social impact business. We are trying to create awareness about Down syndrome by using the artwork of kids and adults born with Down syndrome.
Okay.
Now, in the pitch, what should we stress on? Should we stress on the problem and the solution? Should we stress on the growth, or should we stress on how we are different from, what others do in the market?
All of the above.
Because we have very limited time.
No, but you need to say, as I was telling Shweta, that's your vision is to solve this problem. Right? How are you doing it, and by when? Like, you must have some vision of reaching. The outreach will be with so many numbers by this time, right? That's your vision, and how you're going to reach is the road path. So and why should someone come and engage with you? What is that? I mean, if it's a business, then what is a business model? I think those 4 points you definitely need to cover. I don't think this requires, I'm sure you would have already done your market research. So that input is already available with you. And you're saying through art, I mean, there's so many things that are happening around art therapy today, right? And that's because of the mindfulness and, mental health awareness that has been created in the last few years. The art therapy has become a huge, has made inroads in corporates as well. And you're doing it in a very niche area. And why you're doing this? Why should people be aware? Why should schools be aware? I don't know who your target audience is. I'm just making this up. Right? Why should your target audience be aware of this? Why should they engage with Shweta's organization is what you need to talk about. And how are you going to scale this up?
Okay, got it. So I'll just tell you quickly. What we're doing is we're taking the artwork and we're putting them on products.
Right.
And we are selling and targeting the products to be bought by everyone. It's like a gifting or a like high-end. We have jewelry, we have stationery, clothes, and all. So actually, my market segment is quite vast. So when I go to calculate my TAM, I'm still getting a little lost. Where should I put this?
I mean, gifting is one thing, but you're also trying to create an awareness around this, right? So I would say focus on that, because that's your differentiator. Gifting is, when you start looking at it as gifting, then you have too much competition.
Yeah.
So if you narrow it down, saying you're here to create awareness through this art or this product or this, these things that have been made by people with Down syndrome, then it becomes a differentiator. When you start categorizing yourself with a common thing, then it becomes, I mean, this is just my point of view, Shweta. I mean, I would leave you to kind of take a decision on that, but I would say focus on what problem are you solving. You're solving the problem of getting more and more people understand what this is and what these people can do. What is your ability, right? That's what you're trying to portray and, bring to the front. So that's what people need to know. The product is incidental. The product is something that you are using as a canvas to promote this awareness.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and that's Tickle from Tickle Your Art. So she's
I'm Bhavin Nasinyam.
Oh, wow.
thank you.
Thank you. Neha, sorry, I see Neha's hand.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, actually, I'm into business since last 8 years, but this is my new startup, and this will be my first pitch deck. So I have heard from many that you need to give multiple pitches before you get any investment. So I just want to know, is it right to share all your USPs and ideas with all the investors, or are there multiple rounds? And in first round, you have to constrain only on such points and don't tell them more details, because I think mine is a cosmetics brand. So investors there must be few investors who already have invested in few of this category. So is it a good idea to disclose everything, or like how much we need to disclose?
Neha, when you go to, let's say, buy something, you want all information about the product, correct?
Right.
Want to know where it's being made, what is the cost, which factory is it being made, is it sustainable, not sustainable? I mean, there's so many criteria for you to buy. Is it value for money? You have so much criteria to buy, let's say, even small products. Or so when you go to an investor or investors, I would say, they would need that relevant information for them to be able to make a decision. I don't know how many of you watched Shark Tank. Even Shark Tank goes through so many rounds, and only the finalists are allowed to go in and make the pitch, right? So without that information, how can anyone decide to give you money? Why should they decide to give you money? Is a question that you need to answer yourself. Okay, so I'm not asked, as I said, mentioned earlier, if there is IP, then you don't have to talk about it. You can just say that, this is a thing that I have IP on and I don't want anybody to copy, and therefore I'm willing to discuss it in person, right? You don't have to share it over email, or you don't have to share it in a deck, or you can just demonstrate it in person. Or if there's a show and tell that a piece in your deck, then you can do it in person. All that is there. Those are exceptions. But when you're asking for money, you have to give them details. Yes, first round, you give them fundamental details, as I mentioned just now, and then move on to giving. If they ask for more details, let's say, what will you do at the end of first year? How much will you make at the end of the first year? You need to have that calculation. How many years will you take to break even? Then you need to have that calculation. What is your cost per unit? You need to have that calculation in your head. You may not put everything in the deck, right? But you need to know all this when they're asking you these questions. Like, what will you do if there is another pandemic? For example, I would say, what will you do if there is another pandemic? Will your business go into loss? What is your backup model? How are you going to ensure that you don't go into losses? So these are questions that investors will definitely have, because they are also answerable to somebody else. Please understand, they're not bringing in their khud ka paisa and putting it here. They are bringing in money from somewhere else and giving it to you so that you make a profitable business, and then they're able to take back some money from the business and pay back as well. So that's the model, and therefore you will have to give them information.
I can give them all the information related to finances,
Right.
but related to few USPs or few ideas or my future products, what I am thinking and planning, the innovations I'm planning. So all those details, should I need to disclose or not?
Not fully. As I said, if it's an IP thing, but for example, let's say you are going to have something, from natural extracts. I'm just giving an example, right? You need to tell them that that is a differentiator of your product. You don't have to tell them kaun sa natural product mein leke aa rahe ho, how is, you can say everything is made from natural extracts, right? Or it is not tested on animals. What is that USP that they should be looking? As you yourself said, they must have looked at so many products, right? And today, even in this category, you have so many brands that have come.
Right.
Why should they invest in yours? That question you have to answer. Why is it different? Is it natural? Is it unique? Is it applicable to all skin types? Things like that. Is it sustainable? Why is it sustainable? All of those questions you can answer. So that creates create that hook for the investor to look at, so that they get interested in your pitch. That's something you definitely have to include.
Sure. These I can answer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Apurva, I think you've been waiting.
Yeah, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I'm Apurva. I'm the founder of Bibliophils. Bibliophils means someone who loves books. So my startup is also about that, books and education, like creating the love for books in children. So my question is, without taking a lot of time, I would want to go straight to the question. It's what are some common mistakes that we can avoid while pitching? And do we need to give our micro calculations like unit economics, or can we just mention percentages like our profits are 100% or 60% or whatever?
I'll answer your second question first. You don't have to give micro calculations, as I mentioned, because that's, but if you know it, then you can give some indication of, per unit cost available or request, or,
So we can mention in percentages, right?
Yeah, you can mention in percentages. Of course, you can mention in percentages, unless the pitch fest is asked for certain information in a certain, template, or they've requested for you to fill certain information. Then you take a look at that. I'm not in the loop on that, so you can see what is required for you to pitch, and that's something you can decide. The first question is one, definitely, unclear value proposition, Apurva. That's something that you should avoid. Your value proposition has to be very clear. It has to articulate, what can be a deal breaker. They need to understand what problem, as I keep saying, first, any startup, anything, as you're saying, it solves the problem of bringing back interest in books for children, right? That's your value proposition. So what do you do? That articulation has to be very, very clear. And why should they come back and be interested in books? How does it develop the brain? Whatever, all those things you can, why are you even interested? It might be you're interested in books, but why should 10 more people be interested in reading books is what you need to articulate. So that value proposition has to be very clear. And don't focus solely on product or solution. Explain the problem that the target audience faces and why it's significant also, right? That's something that you need to look at. And I think we've spoken enough about market research. Provide a strong market research to support your claims, and at least market size, trends, customer behaviors, things like that. And if there is any competition information that you'd like to include, please do that. And also, I would say, though, in the sense, you not tailoring your pitch to this also can become an issue. They need to know what you're doing and tailor it to that particular investor. I'm not talking about the pitch fest alone. I'm talking about any, if they have been investing in a certain genre or certain industries, then you need to tailor your pitch to that. And definitely lack of preparation is something that we've seen as, or seen as a lack of commitment. So having the business model at the back of your hand is definitely a must. I would say these, if you can take care of all those, then you're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know who X Predict Labs is. Okay.
Hi, can I go ahead? I'm
Yes,
Mala here. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, please, ma'am. No problem, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into adventure tourism. My intention or my passion is to take more and more people to the Himalayas to give the experience, adventure experience, trekking experience.
Right.
And these years, after, of course, I started before pandemic. But during the pandemic, 2 years, it was completely closed down. And after pandemic, since 2022, I have resumed it again. My question is, actually, I'm not looking for any grant or any capex investment.
Okay.
My problem or my lookout is for brand building and marketing. See, because trekking is an uh, experiential product. There is no tangible product to show to anybody. And for this, marketing is the crux of the business. Actually, during this 23, I wanted to take 100 individuals to the mountains, but I could take only up to 60. It's because of the marketing, lack of marketing. Now I have been doing it on my own, and I'm not very adept with technology. So I'm looking only for the technological support for brand building, because I have got a lot of what you say products in the mountains. And then I have got a lot of my own experience. My problem or my requirement is marketing, social media marketing and brand building. How do I project myself there? How do I pitch my business?
There are two ways to look at it. One is get somebody on board to do this for you full time, because it's not a one-time ask, right? You need to keep building your brand. You need to keep telling this, and especially since you're an experiential service, right? You need to keep telling different stories, and 60 is not a bad number for you targeted 100 and taking 60 people is not bad. Let me start with saying that. And you have 60 stories that you can get out in the social media. I always recommend startups to at least get interns to come and do your social, and because these are young people, they already come with that skill. You don't need to sit and teach them digital or social.
Yeah.
So it's always, and since you are running the business and you're not an expert in this particular area, please look at delegating this to somebody. That's my sincere advice.
Correct.
So that's an easier way to do it. But you also, the one mistake that founders or startup owners or even corporates do, the leaders, right? Everybody wants marketing, everybody wants to be on digital media, and everybody wants to be seen there, but they don't spend enough time telling their story. Even for a marketing person to take your story out, right? You need to spend X amount of time every week, because you have the vision, you have the stories, you have the experience with the people that you're taking, right? So the marketing person is not there everywhere. So you need to spend time. I tell, the startups I consult with to at least give me voice notes. It doesn't matter. Everybody comes back with an excuse like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do stories. I don't have time to sit and write mails. Say when you're walking, when you're in the kitchen, when you're just doing something else, just put voice notes down and then give it to the marketing person to convert it into tellable story. That's the way it works. And you need to and have to spend enough time, as much as you invest in the business, for marketing also. So that's the only way you will be able to scale your business. And and your customer engagement and community building is something that you can focus on, whether it is through email marketing or whether it is through WhatsApp communication that you have created with your existing customers, or whether it is through Instagram
Yeah.
stories that you're doing, or you can look at loyalty and referral programs with your existing customers, get them to do reviews and testimonials, right? And because I also get a lot of
Yeah.
trekking related emails. I am very interested in trekking, and I do get from so many of these companies who do Himalayan treks. Right? But when you get a social,
Okay.
when you get a digital or a marketing person, they will, be able to help you with the rest of it, which includes regular email marketing as to what your schedules are, when is it good to go to a particular trek, when is it the right time to go to a trek. Then they will also help you with social media, utilize Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, right? And you also need the right hashtags and all of it. You don't have that bandwidth, right?
Correct.
Content marketing takes
Yes,
enough
yes,
and more
correct.
time. So you need to do that. Do you have an engaging
Yeah.
website? If you don't have an engaging website, then this person can help create it. Have you already created a strong
Yeah.
brand identity? If you've not done that, then please invest some time and energy and money into creating a brand identity. Like Himalayan Treks should mean our company, right? Something like that. You need to start looking at that and keep going at your target audience, and I'm sure you will scale up as much as you scale the Himalayas very soon.
Correct. And another one small question regarding the finances.
Sure.
All these years, I have run it as a social enterprise.
Right.
I didn't give much focus or importance for the profit rather than participation of the more and more ladies. Of course, it is a mixed groups, but importance and the preference will be given to the women. I have not maintained any financial records except for the current account. All transactions have gone through the current account. I have not maintained any balance sheet so far, but only roughly I have calculated the profit margin, what I want to earn or what I have already earned. Only that much I have maintained. So
Oh.
how do I pitch it now?
You have some idea, right, of what you have made so far, and you can
Yeah,
just
correct.
yeah, you can put that calculation and say, what is the future? Like you said, 100 is your target this year. Like, are you looking at making it to 300 next year or 500 or 1,000? That's a vision that you need to have. And then say, this is what is required to do this.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. You gave me clarity about it. Of course, I was a bit confused what to do, how to go about it. I got a clarity now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Rika, should I go with you first? You put your hand up. Sorry, I will go with you.
Sorry, I'm actually driving and listening to you. No,
Oh.
there are just a couple of things I want to add to whatever the fabulous suggestions that you've made. A couple of things in the pitch deck that I think everyone looks for. One is a very clear mission and a vision statement. What is a mission? Mission is what we are going to fulfill in maybe next 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years. And vision is your vision for the business. How is it impacting a generation, a community, or even humanity? So the mission and the vision statement has to be very clear. Bhuvana spoke about stories. Every business today sells because of stories. So while you're making your pitch deck, your top 3 stories, if you can put it in your pitch deck, that will probably be the clincher. The other thing is, if there's any quirk, if there is anything that stands out, by quirk, I also mean X factor. That you as the entrepreneur will know. I think that's a must in the pitch deck. I think these three things these 3 things I would look for in a pitch deck.
Excellent. Yeah, the X factor is definitely a great point, Rika. Thank you.
Ma'am, can I go ahead?
Yes,
Sai
yes.
Krishna.
What is your name?
Yeah, my name is Sai Krishna Mohanty.
Okay, hi.
I'm a first generation entrepreneur. I'm based out of Odisha. So I started my organization like entrepreneur journey in the year 2016. So Vedic Region, my new startup, which is into manufacturing of Moringa tea bags, Moringa tea infusions, which is a healthy, caffeine-free, healthy for the health and nutrition. So while preparing the pitch deck, I'm facing the issues of problem statement. I'm not able to focus on what problem statement should be there, because I'm catering to those market where people are taking more our dietary supplement that are available in the market. So it is a Moringa tea will be it's a like natural source of dietary supplement. So
Okay.
what should be my problem statement in my pitch deck?
What are you trying to solve? You're trying to solve a dietary requirement, right?
Right, nutritional and dietary requirement.
So that's what you need to say, no, solving what is the, see, today you're trying to say that the people who are taking natural food are not able to get the necessary nutritions, right?
Right, ma'am.
So that's what you need to articulate, saying how your how misinformation or lack of education or low quality unregulated products exist, or nutrition related health concerns are there, right? Or limited access to nutritious food. You can choose any or a combination of 2 or 3 of these areas and create your problem statement.
Actually, like I'm competing with the dietary supplement, that is synthetic lambert dietary supplement that are actually available in the market, which are
Right.
not natural. So can I put that thing as my problem statement, that I'm just trying to cater those
That is your
areas?
solution, right? That's your solution. What is a problem you're trying to solve is you're trying to solve a nutrition related, low access to nutrition, right? That's what you're trying to solve.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's what you need to articulate in your problem statement.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll want Expredict Labs. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry. I think you've been waiting.
Yeah,
For some time.
I am Kirti.
Hi.
Hi. I have been watching your videos. मैंने आपके बहुत सारे videos देखे हैं. I think I started my journey 2 years back, but my company is six years old. My firm is into manufacturing of wastewater treatment plants.
Okay.
And it's very nice to see you and talking to you face to face, because मैंने बहुत videos when I am in very क्योंकि मेरा role in my company is only about business, people, PR, and यही है सारा. So somehow I got in touch with you in the YouTube channel and LinkedIn. तो इसलिए मेरे को आपको देख के बहुत खुशी हो रही है, and I'm going to continue this. Whenever I face the problem, I just go back to your videos. Wherever it is there, I'll just pick that, because आप जो भी advice या suggestion देते हो वो point to point रहता है. That is why I like. So राइट नाउ अभी ये मॉमप्रेन्योर के शो में, जैसे लास्ट मेरे को भी सेम था, इज इट फॉर ग्रांट और इज इट फॉर दिस, सो दैट क्वेश्चन इज सॉल्व. सेकंड इज बिजनेस मॉडल जो रहता है, जब व्हेन यू पुट अ बिजनेस मॉडल स्लाइड इन द पिक्चर, so it should have it has revenue allocation, expense layout, then revenue models and manufacturing models, right? So there are many charts, pie charts and graphs. So इन सबको कैसे एक अच्छे प्रेजेंटेबल फॉर्म में कैसे उसको पिच करना, that is what मैं 2 दिन से स्ट्रगल कर.
Thank you so much for saying all that. I'm very humbled by what you just said. Thank you so much. एक तो आपका बिजनेस में वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन तो होना ही चाहिए, वो तो है. कस्टमर सेगमेंट्स होना चाहिए, फिर आपका रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम्स होना चाहिए, और पार्टनरशिप्स कुछ है तो वो डालिए, और कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर, और इसको मेजर कैसे करोगे आप. एंड यू आर इन दिस स्पेसिफिक स्पेस जहाँ पे आपका सस्टेनेबिलिटी एस्पेक्ट भी आता है, एंड रिस्क एनालिसिस होगा, और कुछ इनोवेशन है तो वो भी डालना है. इसको आप 3 स्लाइड स्प्लिट करके डाल सकते हो, ठीक है ना. दो
Okay.
तरीके से आप कर सकते हो। एक, आप कैनवा डाउनलोड कर लो। आप डिजाइन के बारे में पूछ रहे थे, तो
हाँ, yes.
कैनवा डाउनलोड कर लीजिए। कैनवा में बहुत सारे फ्री टेम्पलेट्स हैं। दिस इज फॉर एनीबडी हु इज स्ट्रगलिंग विद डिजाइन. You can use Canva to design your presentations. They have, वहां पे जाके you can put, they have included some new AI related magic करके कुछ है, तो you can just go say what your topic is, and उसके regarding that they will give you some templates. अगर वो डिजाइन आपको अच्छा लगे तो आप उसको यूज कर सकते हो, उसको डाउनलोड कर लीजिए, एंड यू कैन यूज एलिमेंट्स ऑफ द डिजाइन इन योर प्रेजेंटेशन. यू डोंट हैव टू यूज द होल थिंग. ठीक है ना. बहुत सारे आप पाई चार्ट और वो डालेंगे तो भी पीपल कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे. ठीक है ना. उसको थोड़ा पिक्टोरियल रिप्रेजेंटेशन दीजिए और थोड़ा टेक्स्ट भी दीजिए जो एक्सप्लेन करता है, बिकॉज ये एज आई टोल्ड यू पीपीटी ट्रैवल कर रहा है ना. आप जाके प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो तो दैट इज डिफरेंट, वेयर यू कैन एक्सप्लेन. You can miss some parts of the presentation. You can point to some presentation and then say, I'm talking about this particular area karke. But if your PPT is traveling, then it has to be in a way that the other person is able to understand even when you're not there. So you'll have to keep that in mind, keep it simple, and give data and information that the other person can follow even if they're not from your industry. ठीक है. एंड डिजाइन एलिमेंट आप ऐसे चूज करो जो अगेन इट इज नॉट वेरी क्लटर्ड. नोबडी लाइक्स अ क्लटर्ड प्रेजेंटेशन. ओके, सो कीप even whatever number of slides, as I told you, 15 तक रखिए, 15-16 जो भी है, whatever is required for your information to be shared. Or again, if the organizers have given you a template or necessary details to be included, then include that, and then get into deep diving into your particular area. You can use Canva, and sometimes PPT also gives good designs.
Many frameworks are inside it. It is there. And third thing is now for mompreneurs, what is the pitch deck timing? कितना time का होना चाहिए?
I don't know. Sorry, I will not know the question. I'm only here to answer questions. I don't know if anybody from the organizing team is here. Please answer these questions on chat, or they want to know how much time do they have to pitch.
And will it be a recorded one, or we have to submit the PPT in PPT format?
I'm sorry, I would not. Maybe just, why don't you write to them and ask? I'm not.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not from the team that's.
Okay, I think that's from my side.
Thank you. All the best. Thanks. Farisha, if we can get somebody from their team to answer these questions, I think it'll be helpful to get them solved.
Yeah, I will ask Amisha or Rika. Even I am also not part of this.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, if you can just ask them to just be here and answer these questions on chat. So Kavita, Dr.
Yeah,
Kavita.
hey, hi. First of all, thank you so much for such a nice talk. So we are a startup, and from last 2 years we are working, and we are a wellness company from Uttarakhand. So we people are working in herbal teas and infusions and some cosmetic. So right now we are doing sales through online and both offline platforms.
Okay.
So the thing actually I want to know right now, we have 11 SKUs. So it's like I just want to know, should we increase the number of SKUs, or should we take these 11 and should we market it first, or should we go for number of products more? So that is like, we are a little confused that should we increase the number of SKUs?
I will not be able to solve this, Dr. Negi, because I will need more details to, give you the right advice, whether the SKU is profitable, which products of yours is helping you create that profit. If certain products, because from a growth strategy perspective, the theoretical way to look at it is that if certain products are doing well, then you scale that, right? Then you go in for the SKU increase in the SKUs. But let's say if the geographical expansion is giving you more profit, then you look at, you know, the numbers of total number of SKUs going up, and simultaneously going with certain products which are also profitable and giving you, you know, larger margins, for example, right? Some products will give you bigger margins, some products will not give you bigger margins. So it's good to focus on the ones that are giving you larger margins, and you know, keep the ones that are not giving you good margins at the same level, not scale them up. Or if there is a certain products which giving you larger volumes and is getting to more people, right, then you can look at that also, because for that we need to look at specific data for us to, you know, look at which one, which direction you need to go into. That's how, because otherwise any advice will be very theoretical.
Right. So, yes, you are absolutely right. Like, you know, we have a few products for them. We are pretty sure, and then we should move forward. But few of them, you know, where we are also not able to market them properly. So
Okay.
that's why we are little confused. Should we market it more first, and should we, you know, stop here? So that's pretty, you know, it will take time, I think,
You
toward.
can try out, you can try, see, this is called A/B testing in marketing. You can try out by doing both in like one more SKU and then do the product. You can do a mix and match and see which is helping you grow faster. And that is something, I mean, if you have the bandwidth, I'm saying, whichever is costing less to invest in, you know, or do that, then you can definitely try it out and then take a call. That's
Right.
my
Yeah.
suggestion.
Thank you. So I have one more query. Actually, you know, we are three co-founders in my team.
Okay.
So I have two more co-founders, and we every of us is having a different story. So you know, once the any investor or somebody asks us about our storytelling, so we all three tell our different stories. So you know, it get sometimes confusion actually what is the story. So but could be the solution for that, you know.
We people coming together to, you know, make a change in this particular business, and, you know, make and create jobs, create opportunities. That can be your story. It doesn't have to be your independent stories coming together alone. But I don't know why anybody should have a problem if there are three independent stories also. At the end of the day, you have one vision of creating a business
Yes,
and
yes.
creating opportunities. I think that's what you need to lead with, and that will
Yes,
be.
we have the same vision, obviously.
That's just
That's why we are working on the same platform. But yes, every one of us having a different story.
एक
So
घर में परिवार में तीन लोग हैं तो तीन लोग का स्टोरी तो रहेगा ही है ना, तो फिर
right, yeah.
even husband and wife will have different stories, mother father will have different stories. I don't think that should be anybody's problem, and it's with different stories, if you have come together, I think that itself is a differentiator, and you should pat your back on that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time.
Welcome, Dr. Negi.
Okay.
Priyanka, Sunanda, whoever wants to go first.
Hi, thank you, Bhuvana, for your time and effort to teach us and bring us on right track. So I have a question about being profitable. What do you really mean by being profitable? Like, let's say, how much money you are investing and how much profit you are getting. Aren't we including the time we are investing and let's say salaries? Me and my two other co-founder, we are not drawing any salary. So isn't like so that's not profit. Means I want to know the exact definition of profitable.
There is so much, and see, as I'll keep going back to fundamentals, right, Priyanka, you're here to do business, and business means profit,
Yes.
right? And if you have, and if you, whoever, everybody has to take some money. What you take is different. If you have to be able to break even at some point. That's what I'm saying. You have to define when will you break even. Tab tak, if you're not taking salary, then it's okay. But even after breaking even in the business side of it, you're not taking salary, then you have to revisit and rethink what you have to change or correct in the whole, you know, business model itself. You need to check whether there is cost control, for example, and there is the right pricing strategy here. And if your business plan is realistic itself, your target market or revenue projection and expenses are in line with what you thought it should be. See, of course, and have you, taken into account inflation at all? How are you doing your customer acquisition and retention? Increase in customer acquisition can also be seen as a profit, right? It is about retaining your customers, also goes into profitability. Efficient operations is also, it helps you reduce waste and increase productivity and minimize unnecessary expenses. It might automating your processes or improving supply chain can also bring in profits. How are you managing your finances and your debt? That is another way to look at profitability. Are you adapting to market changes, and are you scaling according to what is happening in the market? That is also, a way to look at profitability. But at the end of the day, money speaks. Money has to speak. Otherwise, you're not for profit, right? Then you can just look at it that way, and then you're not looking at money. You have to look at how to bring in that profit, and even for you to scale your business or to enable your team better, right? You may have like a small team, but to give them a better life in your company, or to give them better access to information and better access to, let's say, scale up of the business also, you need to, and you as founders are responsible for that. I know it can give you sleepless nights, but that's the only way to look at profitability, and there's nothing else. And whichever route you take, right? Whether you're looking at customer acquisition, or you're looking at operations efficiency or automation, or bringing in other aspects of the business to ensure that you're profitable, you will have to look at that.
Okay, I have one more question. We are into math education, like
Sorry?
how mathematics education.
Okay, correct.
So we are like we want to teach maths to kids, not only kids, to adults as well, in a fun and engaging and entertaining way, so that they will make sense of math. And we realize that the fear of mathematics comes from parents and from adults around them. So we are like, but now slowly we change our track to teach or to engage adults as well into mathematics learning and playing board games and all. So till now we were working online, taking classes online. We used to create, we are creating online courses and all. But now we are thinking of starting a physical space where we will provide maybe mathematical toys or puzzles or all maths environment around. So what should we look for before investing money in the physical space? Like we will be investing with some huge amount of money in that. So before taking this decision, what should we keep it in mind? Or should we go for this or no, like that?
You need to see whether there is appetite for it to come physical, and first of all, if it's in a central place. I will take successful examples like J.K. Shah, Priyanka. Those people, have physical classes for CA education, right? And there is a demand. Whatever happens, there is a demand for CAs, right? That's where you have CA education also happening. So you need to say, how does this convert? Abacus, for example, has been very successful in physical, and they can't do online classes as much as they can do physical classes, right? There are many pioneers who've done this very well by having physical classes. But your value proposition has to be very clear that how does, see, at the end of the day, what are parents looking for? कि अपने बच्चे 100 का 100 marks लेके आए मैथ में, है ना? So if your classes are going to help them do better in their education thing, then that is solving a problem. And is your physical center going to be, in a central location which is accessible to everybody, or at least to the number of people you are looking at? If you're looking at, let's say, 50 students coming in and learning, does that in the 5 kilometer radius have those many students or adults coming in and learning? Do you have appetite for that? Do you have people who are ready to
create survey for it?
Of course, you have to. You have to do that. You can have, like, I would suggest do like mock classes. कि कोई location ले लो, maybe like for a day, event location लीजिए, and then you can see if people have the appetite. Do some mock events and see if they are coming and taking it, or have partnership with somebody and do this like with a school or college to get people to come and test out your sessions. है ना? So you can do testing sessions and then take a call whether you have to invest in physical at all. See, distances hai bahut aajkal. People think twice before getting out of the house, but at the same time they also want fun events. So if this is going to create a cohort or a community around math, if you can look at it like that, then I think you can definitely go for it.
Thank you so much. That
You're
will
welcome. But
definitely
read up case studies on Abacus and JK Shah and physical institutes like that.
Yeah.
So you have more information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think Sunanda, Apurva, and Tara.
Hi, Bhuvana. Yeah. Hi, Bhuvana. Sunanda here. Thank you so much for the time. I know I think it's getting a bit extended, but thank you for being patient. So I have a bit of different set of questions, Bhuvana. I'm currently running a startup called Co-Emerge. It's been in existence for more than 3 years. We work with clients like Sony Pictures, Z, Landmark, Hero, and others. It's into HR strategic advisory as of now, where L&D programs are our flagship. The next step, now that we have a set of clients, retainers, and established, kind of decently established name, now it's when we are looking to move to the tech part of it, so that there is more scalability, and of course, service can do only as much. Now it's interesting. I have never pitched though anywhere before. I've worked with a venture capital firm in the past with Bloom. And I have always heard that service-based businesses that start as service-based don't find as much traction when it comes to your, businesses which are tech as much as businesses that are tech. So now that it's not really a pivot, it's more of an extension that we are looking for. So how do you see that in the pitch deck, or how do I create that edge that it doesn't look like it's a service company and that's now looking for a Me Too kind of thing, which is not actually. So I'm kind of struggling. I have a pitch deck. I have that, but I still feel there's something missing that gives that okay, they are doing something different. In especially in a learning development or HR advisory space. So
You're already in the business, which gives you an edge, Sunanda, which can, through testimonials of your existing, clients, you can bring in that differentiation in terms of how did they, how did this entire thing help them, right? And everything in the L&D space is becoming experiential today, right? Are you able to provide that? Because that is, again, whether it's gamification or whether it is through
simulation, yeah.
simulation, jo bhi hai. So I think that is where difference. I mean, what is that area that you're looking to scale with the help of them? So that is the vision that you have from, like, you achieved, let's say, X things. What do you want to do to create that? Like how Rika said, what is that X plus that you want to create? I think that's the differentiation you can bring in, and how you've already solved your clients' problems in today's world, and how that is clearly scalable with other corporates also, right? You have tested it out in a particular industry, like you said, entertainment industry, and how this is applicable to other industries who are facing similar issues, and how are you helping them solve the problem? I think when you articulate that and tell stories, I think it will be a great example of.
Okay. Sorry if I can just take a minute. So now in this space, because we are not into, because there are a lot of gamification, companies out there that are doing brilliant job. LMS is there, white labeled LMS that's available. That's all there. What we're looking for is more like the instructor-led training that happens. Currently, we are doing that. Now, an easier thing for HRs would be where they don't have to continuously reach out to 10 different vendors to talk about, what offering do you have, commercial, trainer selection, etc. So creating a platform which becomes like an aggregator marketplace where you have different vendors, different freelancers, everyone who are onboarded, but along with, let's say, demo of their programs or for what level, what customization is needed. So there will be some which are templatized, some are customized programs like that. So it becomes like a platform for that. And I'm sure HR as such as a segment is something which doesn't crack easy, and they are not very quick to adapt to new things. So that's what one of the feedback from a VC firm that I heard for. So how do you see that in a slide, especially in a pitch deck? That's the first step. How do I position that in a way?
No, I think you are helping. I disagree to that statement that was made by whoever has made that statement. I think everybody is happy to change if it's going to solve a problem for them. In this case, I think you're solving the problem for HR by being that one stop shop, and you're going to be helping them bring together. See, today's environment in any organization is very different from what it was 2-3 years ago, right? HR is engaging with mental health organizations. HR is gone out of ideas to engage employees, has gone out of ideas for learning and development areas. They don't know what can keep their employees engaged. If you go with that angle of, we solve your employee engagement and learning problems and development problems, and also throw retention on top of that, right? Because that's what this will help do. That's what HR is trying to solve at the end of the day, attract and retain.
Right.
So if you're able
Right.
to pitch that and say, you're doing this through this, and you have helped organizations do this, increase retention by 40% in, let's say, 6 months, or you've been able to attract, the top people by increase, attraction by 20%, 30%, whatever it is. I think that tells
Sure,
a
sure,
story.
sure. Got it. Understood, Bhuvana. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wouldn't take long. In case if we can connect later, I would have more questions.
Sure. Happy to.
Thank you.
Priyanka, I'm sorry, I think you had put your hand up. If you're still there. Any other questions? Otherwise, we can close the session. I'm happy to please connect with me on LinkedIn, and happy to take on questions also later. No, I think we don't have any more questions, Farisha. I think we can close. Thank you so much, everybody. And it was super, I would say, interesting for me. And I've learned so much about each of your initiatives also. And I wish each one of you the very best. May the best win, and may all of you win in your life and businesses. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhuvana.
Thank you
These
so
are
much.
really kind words. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all.